Hello and welcome, everybody. Happy July. It is the season of the cookouts, the season of the beaches, the seasons of a very special birthday we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about what you can expect by your zodiac sign for the month of July. How's it been for June, Lloyd?
Well, it was pretty much okay. It was pretty much in keeping, to be honest with you. It was a 9 month, which means I am to wrap things up. I cut back on some subscriptions that no longer serve the purpose. I got rid of those, so that's all. Dreams come true. Yes, this project is taking place this month. That has become a dream. It's a reality where it started out as an idea. Thanks to certain people, that became a reality. So it's real nice. So in that sense,
Nice. So for June for me, um, June is a 6 month, which is not the friendliest month to me, and I found that out throughout the month. And I was able to keep going and keep pushing, knowing what cycle I was in and knowing how to be more careful during the month. And I think that helped me out a whole lot.
but see, it's not
Right.
just you as a Leo, but it's most Leos probably went. If you talk to most Leos, they'll probably tell you they went through some kind of drama or challenge to some degree or another. With some, it could have been their health. With some, it could have been a relationship. With some, it could have been their education or their living environment. Or it could have been a combination of several of those things. See what I'm saying?
Coming from all different directions, huh?
Oh yeah, you know how it is when it comes. It comes. You know what I'm saying? So
What
that's it.
the
It ain't funny when you're in the middle of it though. Okay.
right when it rains, it pours.
Yeah. Yep. No question. No question.
So, where do we start at? Because
Well,
I
we
know
normally
there's a
give an
lot.
outline of what's in store for everybody as a general rule,
Okay,
because now that we're in the month of July, the seventh month, believe it or not, it is a sixth universal month, which means everybody got to go through this. Yes, that's exactly right. So it's not over till it's over. But let me explain for people who are saying, who may be tuning in, this is our seventh month doing this. But for people who are just tuning in, it's very simple. I take 2024, which is an 8, and then I add the seventh position month representing July, and 8 plus 7 equals 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6. Now, there's a difference between just a 6 and a 15. The 15 is composed of two odd numbers, a 1 and a 5, okay? And the 15 denotes money, gifts, and favors from others. So if people play their cards right, for the most part, most of us, to a greater or lesser degree, should walk away with some kind of gift or money or favors from others or assistance from others. That's how that should be. Those signs that are likely to be doing well, as a rule, are likely to be all Tauruses in the house and Librans in the house. Can I get a hands up? Okay. Or if they're born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month. The signs that will be challenged to a greater or lesser degree will be those under the signs of Aquarius or Leo. Now, and because I say that, see, sometimes I have to be very careful because people think all Leos are going to get it. That's not true. All Aquarians are going to get it. That's not true. But it simply means that even though one is an Aquarius or one is a Leo or born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month, it doesn't mean that they can't go through. It's just being more mindful, having a presence to make sure that they live up to whatever commitments they make, things of that nature.
So, what about those people that are having challenges and those cycles? Well, the sixth cycle in particular. What can you advise them of or say to them to help them get through that cycle?
Well, the first of all is to go slow, especially for those that like to rush. See, I like to rush. Well, that's not going to be a good month for me. Okay. That means, Lloyd, you're going to have to slow your roll. You're going to have to take it easy. You're going to have to go with the flow. Yeah, whenever you're in a six moves very slow because it is an earth indicator. It's ruled by the element of earth. So that means people will be plodding along. So if you think it's like you're going to run your way through it, it's not going to happen. But for those that have learned patience, and especially other earth signs like Virgo and Tauruses, and therefore Capricorns, they will be the beneficiaries of it. Okay. But for fire signs and air signs, it just simply means it just slows us down, since the tendency of air and fire to move is to move with a swiftness. But see, once you understand that, then you know how to work with it. It's a difference of trying to go against the tide, but having the presence that right now, this is the time to go with the tide. See, that's where the difference comes in. But people, because they don't know the ebb and flows of the universe like we do, when they're challenged, they will try to go against it. And the more they go against it, the more resistance they have. And then they get swept up in the flow of it. But for those of us who do understand that if we have a challenge, and as they say in the good book, and this too shall pass. We just have to be patient, which is the nature of Earth. Does any of that make sense?
All of it makes sense. Be patient. Slow
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Don't be so impulsive.
Yeah.
So we have a very important birthday coming up that we'll be celebrating in July. The 4th of July was the day that the United States was born. That's what they say on paper.
Yeah, in 1776.
Yeah. So read July 4th, 1776 as if it were someone's birthday. Well, we already know it is.
Well, it is somebody's birthday. There is.
Yeah.
Well, what you do is this. There is what is called in numerology the personal year cycle. You take the month, in this case July. You take the 4th, in this case the date of birth. But instead of taking the year 1776, because the United States would be 270 something years old, but it's still a baby nation, but that's for another time. You take and you replace it from 1776, and in its place you put 2024. Well, when I add that up, July the 4th of 2024 will be a one universal year for this country. Now, what makes it interesting is the United States numbers are the 4, 1, 2, and 7. So since the 1 is its second position number, this is very important. So it means for anybody born on July the 4th or celebrating of a nation, like the United States, it means that this year is a time for this country to do something new than the regular. That's always a case of something in a 1. A 1 denotes beginnings, starting all over again, minus the mistakes of the past. And if the United States understood that, then it would be to their advantage to do so. Okay? Or anybody born on that day of July the 4th. And it's not just July the 4th, it's July the 4th, July the 13th, or July the 22nd of the month. That they too will feel this surge of like, I need to do something new over and above what I'm presently doing. I need to make a fresh start to kind of move in another direction. But anything you do in a 1 sets the stage for the next 9 years to come. So if the United States understood that, and the powers that be, or the people that be that run the powers of this government, it would be to their advantage to take a fresh look and whatever old philosophies that are, to begin to look at things totally different, to look at things with a fresh set of eyes. And it may make all the difference in the world. Right now, nations are kind of at war. I shouldn't say at war, but they are a lot of things. And there's a lot of tension, and this one don't agree with that one. But this year, universal year, which is 2024, which is an 8, is going to really make people begin to lay the foundation to some things that are very important to reflect on the past as they go to the future. since this number 8 is in opposition to the number 4, which is the nation, it means there's likely to be resistance since 8 rules finance. There's a question now about the devaluation of the dollar, the rise of brick. For example, coming in October, we'll be there in a couple of months at the rate we're going, right? Well, being in October, there is going to be a meeting in Russia with no less than about 57 nations. And BRICS started off with only 5 nations, Brazil and Russia and India and China and South Africa. And that's why the name came BRICS. Now it's BRIC Plus. Okay. so that's all I'm saying. Listen, I don't have no control over Mother Nature. I have no control over this nature. We brought that question up, so you know me. I'm gonna.
They put a plus sign on it.
Yeah,
And that's some
like there's another
powerful stuff.
organization with a plus on it. There's a lot of things with a plus. Everything now is a plus, which means they're
Wow.
add-ons. Because don't forget, they started with 5 less than about a year and a half ago. And now 59 nations are scheduled to join and be in attendance in October of this year. So a
So that
lot of
means
people,
they gotta add a lot of pluses.
yes, but not only that, but when you look at these countries and their population, they will dominate the population of the world more than European nations will. And also will their gross national product too. So for those who are stuck in their ways of doing business like it was before, or creating real or imaginary enemies, this is going to be a challenging year for them. That's all I can say.
Wow.
But you asked the
It gets
question.
deep.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
It gets deep. So this leads me to another question. With this being a 6 month for us,
Mhm.
does that make this month even more challenging with the 8 and the 6 as
For
opposition?
this country, yes, because the key numbers of the United States is the 4, 1, 2, and 7. The major opposition numbers to the United States are the number 8, the 6, and the 9. So if you look at the 1860s, there was the Civil War. If you look at the 1960s, there was the civil rights. You know what I'm saying? Where the North was divided against the South and whatnot. And so, in fact, it was in the 1860s, after the Civil War, about 1865, 66, there was the freedom of the slaves, so to speak. Although mentally we have been, well, that's a whole nother philosophy. I got my opinions about that. But just last year, 2 years ago, what did we settle? Juneteenth. Okay, because the brothers in Texas was the last one to get the news that they've been free for more than a minute. Okay, so word finally got back to them. But then came the 1960s, the civil rights, Dr. Martin Luther King, assassination of Malcolm X, Che Guevara, Robert F. Kennedy. It was just a lot of craziness going on. A lot of craziness.
We need an episode just on the history.
We'll do that because what's interesting, almost everything that affects this country, the oppositional numbers that cause it strife is always, and not only that, but each number rules a day. The 6 rules Saturday, the 6 rules Friday, and the 8 rules Saturday, and the 9 rules Tuesday. Well, if you look on November the 22nd of 1961, John F. Kennedy, 1962, John F. Kennedy, 1963, except John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. He had just landed into Love Field in Dallas, Texas. And, they attended a convention that morning. But as they were going by the Dealey Plaza, his life was taken. But it occurred on Friday, the 22nd. 2 plus 2 is 4, appearing on Friday. So when they talk about Friday the 13th, 1 plus 3 is 4 falling on a Friday. So it's not just Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 4th, Friday the 13th, Friday the 22nd, or Friday the 31st of the month. So if those dates appear on that Friday, and then just the reverse. since 4 rules Sunday. So, for example, when George W. Bush Jr. came into office on that Super Bowl Sunday, was the 31st, I believe, of January, he choked on a popcorn. But it was on Sunday the 6th or something like that. And the only thing that saved him was when he passed out, he bumped his head to dislodge the popcorn or something like that. But that was on, so it's on either Sunday the 6th, Sunday the 15th, or Sunday the 24th. It's just how these numbers come together, which is why I developed the app for Star 8.
Tell us about a Star 8.
A Star 8 came as a result of me for years having clients, especially business clients, who would plan in advance. Some would plan a year, 2, even 5 years in advance, and they would bring me calendars. And what I would do is I'd mark these calendars in red and green. Green was always their favorable numbers, favorable days, and dates. Red means their unfavorable numbers, days, dates, and months. And I mean, so I said one day, I said, wow, it'd be nice to do this in an app. So although I developed this app, a Star 8, ASTAR 8, and so I did develop it, but I put a lot of bells and whistles to it, like a name analysis, your favorable cars, relationships, travel, address, and whatnot. For me, the real essence of my app is the calendar. So are you having a 1 or 2 or 3 green star day? Or are you having a 1 or 2 or 3 red star day? Okay. And this will
Every
take,
time we talk about this, I have to check to see what day I'm having. Okay.
so
It's,
so hold on, let me tell you, it's in my head. Okay, when we're doing this, okay, this is it would be a 1 red star, no, a 2 red star day for you.
really?
Yes, well, we're not there yet. We haven't gone past 12 midnight, but it would be a double red star day.
Oh, yeah,
Right
because
now, it'd probably be neutral.
yeah,
But see, the
it's
beautiful part
okay.
is because I developed this concept, I can do it in my head, and no matter whose birthday it is, I can tell you whether you're having a green star day or a red star day. And so I take great pride in learning this. It's designed to help people make intelligent decisions. Because if a person, Kimberly, can be in the wrong place at the wrong time, why can't you be in the right place at the right time? And that's what my app does for those who would download on their phone. And I have it available on Android. I have it available on iPhone, or they can go to a star 8, ASTAR, the number 8.com, and download it from there. But if they go to the website of star8.com, they can see all the features that's involved before they download it on their phone, just in case.
I love the app. I don't
Me
do
too.
anything,
Me too.
plan anything without looking at the app first.
I lost a couple of items, and you know what? I failed to look at my app, and it was a double red star day. I said, now after the fact don't mean squat. Now I developed the concept. You think I
That's
checked the
why.
concept?
That's why. That's why the universe said you think you more important than everybody
Yeah,
else
let
just
me teach you a
because
lesson, buddy. I swear I flew something in the sky, got lost, never came back, and then I had nerve to check my star day. Double red star day. Lloyd, what do you want? Okay, come on.
in the wrong.
Yeah, yeah. So I have to laugh at
So
myself, you know?
we all do sometimes. Let's
Sure,
say
sure.
sometimes we
Nobody's
gotta
perfect.
laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into our forecast by zodiac sign. You ready?
I am ready. Here we go. If your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Aries, the theme this month is obligations. What do I mean? Well, it's very interesting because the cycle that we're in universally is a cycle that Aries are going through, which means, and Aries can be impulsive. They can be very forceful. They can be, just very proactive and just jump out there. Well, this month says you got to do just the opposite. You got to slow it down, slow your roll, as they say, take it easy. Adjustments are going to be made, but it's important that for those who are superficial Aries, just talking that talk and not backing it up, this month will prove to be a challenge for you. And not only that, but then when I look at the aspects of Mars, which is Aries, and Cancer, the period that we're in, which is water or by the moon, this is a moon Mars opposition for them anyway. So knowing that, they should be very careful. And when I say obligations, don't say anything that you cannot back up. That is the point of it. It means not only adjustments, but on the positive side, let's stay to the positive side, it's more about working on your health, working on your lifestyle, working on your appearance, and working on your education, whether it's going back to school, especially in the first week, because in the first week, it's going to give you a time to sit back, analyze what you've been doing. And because this cycle that all Aries are in has to do with relationships as well, for some of you, it's going to be makeups. For some of you, it's going to be breakups. Some of you who've been especially out of the loop, there's a higher or better than average chance that if you have been single for a minute, that may change hopefully before the month of July is over. Going into the second week, though, is when you're likely to have some problems on the 12th, the 13th, and 14th, because the moon will be sitting in your opposition sign of Libra during that time. And not only that, you'll be passing through a financial week. So it simply means definitely be careful with your dollars, since the cycle you're in governs money anyway. Actually, if I had to put another theme on this month for Aries, it would be your romance and finance cycle. So on the finance side, that's likely to be challenging in the second week, and they need to be very careful. Meet your obligations, which is the theme anyway. Pay your bills. Don't be trying to skate, whatever. But meantime, pay yourself first as well, too. It's going to be, as you go toward the third week, that you're going to find the opportunity to really fulfill some of your dreams, to really work on some of the things you've been going through, to manifest with all the intentions that you plan to, but at the same time, begin to clean house. Begin to say, okay, that's it. That's it. I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't need you either, I think. Because as you close out the week, to close out the month on the 26th and 27th, when the moon is in your sign of Aries, you're going to be feeling yourself, as they say. Okay. You're going to be feeling confident and cocky. And in fact, you might decide to step out on faith and stuff like that. You'll find that Libras and Tauruses will help you, or anybody born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month. You'll find that the colors blue and yellow should be worn to greater or lesser degrees or shades. And you'll find that your stone to wear or carry will be shungite, which is a favorite. Shungite is always going to be the top one, and amethyst. Now, if your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Taurus, the theme for you is imagination. Now, Taurus is an earth sign, okay? And so sometimes they can get stuck in the way they do things. But the theme this month says begin to go beyond just the practical, go beyond just the logical, go beyond just the solid things, and stretch that imagination. Be more creative and imaginative. Daydream if you have to see these things come true. Now, in the first week, especially around the first and the second, when the moon is in your sign of Taurus, that's going to be a very good time for you. But it also means to lay the foundation to what you want to do in a more creative, expressive, and imaginative way, because it's so amazing what the imagination can do. So, for example, if the person was listening to radio, they will find that you can have 10 people listening to the same story, but they all got a different image of that person that they're listening about. This is why when they talk about witnesses, you know what I'm saying? You get 10 witnesses, and 10 witnesses will notice this, another witness will notice that. So that's the thing. But travel is on the agenda going as you go into the second week of the 8th through the 14th. That's for sure. Short trips, weekend trips. And so since the whole theme is about expanding your creativity and imagination, be doing it in terms of things how you can do before the public. There's some Tauruses out there that may have a certain talent, gifts, skills, abilities, and this will be the time to promote it and get into the imagination. Now, there will be some exceptional Tauruses like those born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or April 30th of the month. That would be a little different. But for those that are not born under that 3 date, it would be a time for them to really begin to be creative, communicative, and things of that nature. Romantically, it's the third week, but on the other hand, though, it's in the week of the 16th and the 17th, when the moon is in the opposition sign of Scorpio, that all may not seem well with the relationship, but they're going to have to make adjustments. But it's going to be a perfect time for you to maybe begin to get in the gym, begin to change your diet, begin to look at things in a totally different way. It would be a good time to go back to school, or maybe put a little bit of knowledge under your belt with an online course or a summer class or something of that nature. That would be good. But then as you go to the final weeks of July, it's going to give you a time to kind of like, wow, what has this been about? To kind of take a deep breath, to kind of make an assessment of what you have been going through over the last 31 days, because July has 31 days, where June we left last month only got 30 days. So you got one more extra to throw into the pot. So and so that week is about attracting what you want by seeing it in your mind's eye. But this is where the imagination comes in, because the more imaginative, imagine smelling a brand new car, imagine mentally touching the car by getting the emotional cues into the imagination. By the last week of the month, you should be fulfilling a lot of your dreams. Tauruses are going to find that Pisces and Sagittarius will help them. For those that are born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month. And lavender and pink, those kinds of shades from the lightest to the darkest should be the color they should wear. In addition, they should wear shungite with gold quartz. You know, quartz is clear quartz. They got quartz in all different shades. Well, try to get one that's in golden. That would do well for them. Now, for those, if your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Gemini, you know what your theme is? Ambition. Be motivated. Have a goal. Have an objective. Have a desire to do something with your life. The better off you're likely to do. Especially, especially in the third week, because in the first week, when the moon is sitting in your sign on the 3rd and the 4th in Gemini. And you're going to find that that's going to be a time where you're going to take it networking, meeting the right people to help you get to the next step, those kinds of things. But as you go into the second week of of uh, of July, you're going to find that your imagination or ambition may be a little limited, because it indicates there's some boundaries or restrictions are going to be placed around you at that time. So it just means just take it easy, put your ambition in check. So it's during that second week that it's best to go a little slow. But as you go into the third week, things are going to be opening up. However, that's not going to appear that way on the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th of the month, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Sagittarius. All righty. So it means if you are taking a trip, be mindful, be careful, pay attention, especially for those of you driving on the road and things like that. But don't forget, whatever you do, to put ambition behind your project, the ambition to succeed, the ambition to get things done, the ambition to overgo any challenges. That is the theme. Don't miss that theme at all, because toward the tail end, which is nice, you're going to find that you're going to get a chance to really deal with your personal life, relationships, your health, your appearance, your lifestyle. It's going to be very, very nice. In fact, you might find yourself sprucing up the home or whatever the case is. All of that is going to occur. You'll find that Leos and Aquarians and Cancers are going to help you, or people that are born on the 2nd, 7th, 11th, 16th, 20th, 25th, or 29th of the month will probably assist you during this 31-day journey through this month of July. And all shades of gray, from the lightest to the darkest, should be worn, okay? And you'll find that the stone or crystal to wear or carry should be shungite, of course, along with pearl, okay? Now, what about Cancers? This is your month. I know you've been saying, what about me? Okay, here we go. For Cancers, if your sun or moon or ascendant is in this sign of Cancer, your birthday month, it's about influence. Influence for good, bad, or indifference. You are the master of how you influence people. That's the power you got in your birthday month. So if you are about want to be an influence for good and change people's lives and motivate them to be their best, this is the perfect month for you. To the negative, but with this being the year, the month of influence, that influence is definitely going to work against you. And I would advise you don't do that. I'm advising you, since this is your birthday month, to take the high road. No excuses, bar none. Are you going to find in the 5th and the 6th when the moon is sitting in your sign real pretty? That's when you really get this thing off the ground. In fact, it's going to be a culmination of your dreams come true. It's going to be making things a reality, and at the same time putting things aside, because as you go into the second week of your birthday month, that's when you're going to want to start fresh and new all over again, and take that kind of attitude, that because don't forget, the whole thing is about influence. How can you influence people? And you want to influence them for the best. So in fact, one of the things you can do is to motivate yourself. What kind of influence do you want to have? Because that second week is going to give you a chance to step out on faith and do some things in a way that is in keeping. It's going to be in the second week, excuse me, in the third week, which would be around the 20th and the 21st, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Cancer, 6 signs away from you. And because you will be in a personal week, I should say, or week of relationship, it just simply means take your time. That third week says take it easy and just make sure that you go slow, take your time. But it's going to be in the final week where you'll get an opportunity to really grow and expand, and then have your influence reach a wider audience, more influence of contacts. And listen, it's like what they used to say, it's always somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Well, you will be in a position going into the final week of your birthday month to really influence people on a very wide level. You're going to find as a result that those under the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius and Libras will help you, or they will be born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. And the color to wear are all shades of black, shungite, of course, and adventurine. Well, for Leos, if your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Leo, the theme this month is about observation, to pay attention, to the little things. Sometimes it's interesting. To give you an example, you're on the highway and you're going at 60 miles an hour. Well, what can you see? But then if you're going 20 miles an hour, boy, can you see, wow, I saw the poster, I saw this, I saw that. So this is the kind of energy to observe, to pay attention, to be alert, to have the green light on, that like people might think you're sleeping, but you checking out everything that's going on around you. And not only that, it also deals with getting into meditation, finding a quiet moment. You ain't got to meditate like a monk. Okay. It's not about that. Take 5 minutes and calm yourself with a couple of deep breaths. Okay. The deeper I go, the more I am healed. The deeper I go, the better I feel. Because part of this cycle you're in, under the observation, is under the laws of attraction, that whatever you're thinking will dominate. So observe carefully what you're thinking about. Thinking harmony, thinking disharmony, and especially in the first week, because it suggests something happening with the past. But the nice thing about it, the moon will be in your sign of Leo on the 7th and the 8th of the 9th of the month. So in that way, as you go from the first week into the second week, you're going to find that things are going to move in very nicely. It's also going to be reaching levels of maturity and understanding. It's like you're going to have a new insight. But as you enter that second week, it's going to be a period where there will be a sense of finality, that enough is enough. But it's about also manifesting and making sure you do that. So observe what it is you want to manifest. It's going into the third week, around the 20th and the 21st. Did you got a little bit more mindful, since the moon will be sitting in the opposition sign of Aquarius? But at the same time, it's going to give you an opportunity to really step out on faith and do the things you need to do. And I stand corrected. During that third week, you will be free of no restrictions. It's going to be in the week of the 22nd and the 23rd, excuse me, that I spoke out of turn, when the moon is sitting in the opposition sign of Aquarius, that might be a little challenging. But as for that third week, it says you need to do things for yourself. You need to observe what's in your best interest. And you need to observe what direction you wish to take your life as you close out the remainder of the month of July. But again, in the last week, it says, be patient, don't rush. Don't forget Leo is fire, so they got a lot of energy. They got a lot of get up and go. Definitely be more mindful of how you're doing things. You're going to find that those under the signs of Cancer and Pisces are going to help you, or people born on the 2nd, 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th, helping in some way or shape or form. And wearing the color white or green is going to do a lot for all Leos this particular summer month. And, especially with green, because these are the colors that dominate this month just by happenstance anyway. But the stone or crystal to carry or wear should be shungite and blue agate. If your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Virgo, the theme this month for you for July is teamwork. What do I mean? Well, you've heard the phrase, no man is an island. You can't do it all by yourself. So your success for this month of July lies in the fact of teaming up with somebody going in the same direction as you. Not only that, but the particular cycle you're in tells me, but those of a higher consciousness, not just to get with people, get with those this month who have a higher purpose or a higher goal in mind and team up with them. And you'll find that the two of you or the three or more of you will get there much faster than trying to go solo. This is not the month for you to do that. In fact, in the first week, it indicates things are going to be expanding. And so because things are going to be opening up and might get more involved, more than you need to, you're going to need some extra people to help carry you along forward with what you're doing. In the second week, from the 8th through the 14th, with the moon sitting in your sign on the 10th and the 11th, that's when you're going to have a sense of order about the direction you mean to take in terms of how to work with a team for the purpose of the team and the results of the teamwork efforts that you're making. So all of this is going to be very important. But it's going to be in that third week of the 15th through the 21st that you're going to make a pivot. It's going to be like a fork in the road. You're going to make a shift that will take you in another direction that would lead you onward and upward, as they used to say. And it's in this manner that if you, by this chance, or I should say by this time, if you teamwork with somebody, you'll find that you will get to your destination much, much faster, with more accomplished and with some room left over for whatever other things you need to do. However, as you go into the final week, especially around the 24th and the 25th, just be a little mindful about the teamwork, since the moon will be sitting in your opposition sign of Pisces. And it means just for dealing with commitments, make sure that if you say something, you're going to follow through, because teamwork effort is going to be the household word to keep in mind, that no matter what you do, that's the way to do it. There are also going to be some adjustments going into that final week too. In fact, it might mean anything from your personal appearance to your home to your job set or whatever, but do keep that in mind. But the whole goal is to work in concert with somebody rather than trying to go it alone all by yourself. You'll find along this journey that those under the signs of Leo, Aquarius, and Cancer will assist you, or people born on the 2nd, 7th, 11th, 16th, 20th, 25th, or 29th of the month. And the best colors to wear will be all shades of reds and orange, from the lightest to the darkest. And the stone to wear or carry in your case is shungite and moonstones. So now, what about Librans, okay? If your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Libra, the theme for you this month is about ingenuity. Now, what does that mean? I should have you all look it up. Librans, not everybody, okay? But here's what I'm saying. Ingenuity it's almost like imagination to a degree, to begin to think of innovative and unique ways of problem solving and making your life better, just being ingenious. Okay. So ingenuity is going to count. And especially in the fourth week, at the very first week, because in the first week, there indicates there's going to be some boundaries or borders placed around the way you start off the week. And so with that, you're going to need a lot of ingenuity in case you have to kind of meet some borders or fences or challenges or whatnot. And you're going to have to put your ingenuity to the test to figure out how you're going to overcome those obstacles. But as you go into the second week, though, especially on the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th, you're going to find that's going to be much, much better for you. And then you're going to feel a breath of fresh air where you can feel you can breathe and then do things and then move out, because part of this month is about being expanding, getting right to make the right connections that you want to do. And that's especially is going to be happening in the third week when you enter that romance and finance cycle. But the emphasis is going to be on relationships. So if you've been in a halfway decent relationship, I would expect that to definitely move to the next level without question. But if you've been in a relationship that's been working, as you women say, your last nerve, okay, somebody's in trouble. That's all I can say. But at any rate, though, but it indicates that during that week, at the same time, try to get some kind of course under your belt. Take an online course. Go on a retreat because it is summertime. You know what I'm saying? Where and sit in the grass and hug a tree or something of that nature, because that's what you're going to need to do as you go into the final days of July, because it's on the 26th and the 27th when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Aries, that you need to be not let your imagination overtake you. Don't imagine the worst. Don't imagine you got this, because the cycle energy close out the month says you're going to be in a more reflective, and so it's whatever you're thinking about. That's what is going to draw a lot of things to you. But with the moon sitting in your opposition sign during those 2 days, you're going to find that the tendency is, oh, it's not going to work, or so don't sell yourself short. Think of the term that the whole theme from beginning to end of this month of July is about putting your ingenuity to the best test. You will find that Pisces and Sagittarius are going to help you, and anybody born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month will help you. And you're going to also all shades of purple from the lightest to the darkest. You know what I'm saying? And the stone that you should wear or carry should be shungite and pyrite. Okay. Now, what about Scorpio? If your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Scorpio, the theme is about accountability. This month requires you to be accountable for your actions, accountable for your words, accountable for your deeds, good, bad, or indifferent. There's, you know, this boxer Joe Louis said, you can run, but you can't hide. Well, you have to be accountable for everything you're doing, such as paying your bills, such as respecting your home, such as respecting your health. All of this is very, very important to you. And especially in the opening days of July, because the moon will be sitting in your opposition sign of Taurus. So you're going to have to be very, very careful and diplomatic how you enter this month, and being accountable, being a person of your word. If you say you're going to do it, do it. All right. And so it simply means that you're going to be in a mood not to be bothered. You're going to be in a mood where you're going to want to be left alone. Understand it. But as you move into the second week, though, that's when you're going to be ready to make some power moves to get a break. It also indicates that someone from your past is going to come back by way of news of some engagement, reunion, wedding, funeral, christening, something like that. So don't be surprised in the least. But the best is yet to come as you enter that third week from the 15th to the 21st, when the moon is sitting in your sign on the 15th and the 16th. And that's when you're going to be working on things. That's when you're going to be making things happen. But for those things that you need to feel you're no longer accountable to, you need to let that go once and for all. And as you go into the tail end of the month, or for the last several days of the month, it indicates that that's when you stand tall, stand on your own. But all of it is based upon your accountability or lack of accountability. It's easy to blame someone when you ain't got to be accountable. But for all Scorpios, I don't care who you are, who your mother is, if they're a Scorpio. My brother's a Scorpio. He's going to have to be accountable too. Okay? You can't get around it. All right? So that is it. Scorpios will find that those under the signs of Taurus and Libras, ironically, will help them, or people born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month. Or if they are, the colors that they should wear for the month of July should be all shades of blue from the lightest to the darkest, and a little bit of red too. They'll find that the stone or crystal they should carry or wear should be shungite and rose quartz. Okay. Okay, we're getting down to the home stretch now. I know. I'm telling you, next year we're gonna do it totally different. We ain't gonna wait till all this time to finally get to Sagittarius. But if your sun or your moon or your ascendant is in the sign of Sagittarius, your theme this month is about culmination, bringing everything to a head, bringing it all together, putting all the pieces of the puzzle into one whole, to culminate things, to blend it all together, to manifest those dreams, so to speak. All right. And so it's like picking this part, picking that part, and just putting it all together. Now, it ain't going to seem that way in the opening days, especially around the 3rd and the 4th, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Gemini. You ain't going to be feeling that way at all, not one. Believe that, but it indicates it for those of you who've been in codependent situations. Those 2 days, especially, you're going to be challenged, okay, and you're going to be forced to stand on your own. So for you Sagittarius that are in a very dependent state, when you need to culminate and bring everything together, you're going to find that you'll be more challenged. It simply means that, yes, you may want to step out on your own, but on that day of the 3rd and the 4th, just be a little bit more mindful. Now, as you go into the second week, that's when you can really culminate. When I say that, bring people together, bring partners together, bring disputing factors together for a commonality of making a union of some kind. And take your time. By the way, there's don't be surprised if there's you desire a change of your diet or whatever the case is. But as you go into that 3rd week, past the middle of the month, when the moon is sitting in your sign on the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th, as they say, you're going to be feeling your oats. You're going to have this desire to really to grow, to expand, to finally see the sense of bringing everything together for a common goal, a common objective. That is the main thing. And then as you go into the last month or the last week of July, what remains of it at that time, you're gonna end it off in a way that leads to a organized way of doing things, a more structured way of life, making sense and order to your purpose of what you plan to do, and things should work out pretty well. You're going to find that Aries and Scorpio is going to help you, or anyone born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month. And the stone or crystal you should carry should be, well, first of all, let me deal with the colors. Should be red and orange. Okay. Shades. There, you ain't got to have litmus red and, bright orange, but in those shades or whatnot. And you're going to find that shungite and ametite should be good. That's Amertite, hematite. That will be the stone that you should wear or carry. All right. Now, Capricorns. For Capricorns, the theme this month, well, excuse me, let me start from the beginning. If your sun or moon or ascendant is in the sign of Capricorn, the theme is about variation. What do I mean? Well, Capricorn is an earth sign. Capricorns are known to move slow. Capricorns are known as a sign that likes routine and order. But this month of July, and it's for various reasons too, that variation is going to be important. First of all, for all Capricorns, this month of July is when you're in your direct opposition period of the year anyway. All right. So if you're doing the same old, and getting no results, as Einstein once said, okay, that's not a bright move. So vary it up. That's why variation, diversity, versatility, flexibility, adding more little spice to your regular routine versus that this is how I did it all my life and this is how I'm going to keep doing it. It's not going to work this month. You can do it, but if you wind up in the same situation when you started the month of July and wind up at the end of July in the same situation, then you haven't done yourself no favors. So what happens is this is very important because around the 5th and the 6th, when the moon is sitting in your direct opposite, because don't forget, the moon is going to be in the sign of Cancer anyway. And it's your opposite. So you're in the period of Cancer and the moon is in Cancer. And so both the sun and the moon are in opposition during that 5th and 6th. So you're going to have to be very, very careful about how you engage in relationships, how you engage in matters of education and health, and be prepared to make some adjustments. And don't say anything you can't follow through on. That's very important because as you enter the second week rather, It'll be more reflective. It'll give you time to say, okay, what have I been doing? That first week was kind of tight around the edges. I need to kind of breathe. And so therefore give you a chance to get your thoughts together and maybe go somewhere where you can hear yourself think, as they used to say. But that will be the point. But as you go into the third week of the 15th through the 21st, especially on the 20th and the 21st, when the moon is now sitting in your sign, then it finds you in a better position. And not only that, but more than likely gains a chance, the making of money, the relationships that are very meaningful, important in your life, that is going to manifest. That's going to be, I would hedge my bets. I would run my bets with that one. That's going to be the best week of that lot. But then as you go into the final week of July, those last several 8 days, it says this is the time to begin to vary it up, yet close the books on things that you no longer need, no longer serves a purpose, no longer has a goal or a mission in your life. And then vary it up by saying, okay, I think I need to plan a trip somewhere or go somewhere. But you're going to find, though, that those that are going to help you will be Geminis and Virgos, or they will be born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month. And they should wear metallic grays, like cars have different kind of grays. That's the kind of grade you should put in your clothing. Now, as far as the stone or crystal you should wear or carry, it should be shungite and sapphire. Okay. Now, Aquarius. It's about time they got to me. Okay. I've been waiting since the beginning of Aries. All right. 4. If your sun or your moon or your ascendant is in the sign of Aquarius, the theme this month is self-determination. Don't that sound hot? I know it sounds hot to me. Okay. Hot in the sense that determine what's in your best interest. Aquarius is the symbol of your sign is a human figure in the first place. That means they're giving, caring, sharing, loving. But how can you help people if you're not determining your own destiny? That you must put yourself first. You must determine what's in your best interest. It's not what the folks want, the mates want, the kids want, the bosses want, the neighbors, the brothers, the sisters. It is what you want to do. And by using this attitude of self, I'm not talking about being selfish. That's a totally different thing. But being goal directed, don't let nobody throw you off your center. That's what I'm talking about. And especially in the opening days, well, actually it's around the 7th, 8th, and 9th, when the moon is sitting in the opposition sign of Leo. So it means that, just don't just jump out the gate in just be positive, just be patient, just be, just go with the flow, so to speak. Because as you go into the second week, that's when things are going to begin to open up and expand for you. You're going to be meeting the kind of people that can help you get to the next level, because the whole thing is about determining what is in your best interest, how you're going to build, how you're going to take things to the next level. So in that regard, you're going to do well, because as you go into the third week, that's when you're going to lay the cornerstone, the foundation to all the things you have to do, need to do, and wish to get accomplished. So don't be surprised if there's some reconnection with your past, reconnection, or having a sense of order or purpose or determination. But the last week is going to be the best one. It's going to maybe allow you a chance to travel, get away, especially on the 23rd, 22nd, 23rd, when the moon is literally sitting in your sign of Aquarius. You'll find that will be very important. The signs that are going to help you will be Leos, Aries, and Aquarius yourself, or they will be born on the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month. The color to wear should be, believe it or not, yellow, hints of red, or crimson, call it what you will. And the stone to wear or carry should be shungite and garnet. And garnet is a beautiful red stone. It's a healing stone too. Finally, I know Pisces says, man, I was about to go home. Okay? Well, if you were born on, if your sun or your moon or ascendant, excuse me, it's been a long day, has been in the sign of Pisces, the theme for you this month is about expiration. Now, what do you mean? You know how you buy a product that has an expiration date? Now, that means you either use it by that date or lose it. So for you, the goal should be, what are the things you want to have The sun is going to set on this. You ain't going to fool around all day with me on this one. Your expiration term is up. So if you feel that way about like, I'm getting rid of this, I'm getting rid of that, your term is expired, your term is expired, that's exactly what this theme is about. Setting the sunset on things, setting a deadline on things, setting an end to things that you feel that you no longer need in your life, that you want, because it's going to allow you a time to fulfill your dreams. So you can't have people around and they get past their expiration date and they get all stale and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They tell you everything you buy in the store has an expiration date. And that's how you got to think this month. You know what? Next week, you're expired. Okay. This week, you got one more week to go. But at least you're putting them on notice. Listen, I'm doing the best I can trying to explain your theme. All right. So so as you open the first week, it tells me that's when you're going to really be determining what's up for you. Ain't about what your mother want, father want, brothers, sisters, nobody. It's about what's in your best interest. Because don't forget, it's in this first week you're going to be looking at everything and everyone and beginning to set expiration date. On the second week you're gone, the third week you're out of here, and as the fourth week, it's definitely a wrap for you, buddy. It's going to be like that. All right. So in the second week though, we have a little patience and little receptivity is going to have to be exercised. You got to be mindful because the moon is going to be sitting in your stress sign of uh, Pisces, excuse me, Virgo, from the 10th and the 11th. So just be very careful about things of that nature. But it's going to be in that third week from the 15th to the 21st that you're really going to set the terms about how you're going to grow, how you're going to expand, and how long these people are going to be in your life. Because again, it's about setting expirations, it's about setting deadlines, it's about setting the terms are up in this case. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody got a term that you got to use. But it's in that last week when the moon is sitting in your sign on the 24th and the 25th. That's when you're going to really set the tone for anybody that think they're going to get past you with their expiration date. They're going to embarrass themselves. I can tell you right now. So but you tell them, if you don't want to get your feelings hurt, it's time for you to go. It's time for me to get out of here. But whatever the case is, it's about wrapping it up and doing what you feel is in your best interest. So as long as you set expiration dates, terms, you know, that you're terminating, you're finished. It's a wrap. It's over. But you'll find that your load will be much lighter as you go into the summer of August, which is going to be hot anyway. But you're going to find that Aries and Scorpios will help you, as well as those born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month. And you're going to find that the colors to wear should be crimson, those kinds of things. And you'll find that the best stone to wear or carry will be shungite, of course, and onyx. I always enjoy this every month. This is fun. Leave us your comments and make sure you're listening to Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimbaley on her podcast or Spotify or Google, whatever podcast that is. Make sure you're listening to it every Monday morning and Wednesday morning. Her themes are, oh, I listen. Listen, I ain't paying you no mind. I listen to her shows every Monday, every Wednesday. She's a great storyteller, but the way she tells her stories have universal principles that I mean, the way I used to do it in the morning, I would exercise, listen. Now when she tells these stories, they're getting better and better. She's getting good at this. I got to take a break, okay, and say, let me, so I don't miss what she's saying here. I ain't got to repeat it. At least I'm not lying, okay? I'm telling you.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and I'm a pretty sharp guy. And I listen to Miss Kimbaley every Monday, every Wednesday, and I suggest you do too. And she didn't ask me to do this. This is from me. I am very sincere about what I do. I try to be as authentic. Now I'm not perfect. I don't walk on water, but basically I'm a nice human being until y'all get on that side of it, and then but over and above that, I'm good. I'm good. And so for you who are celebrating July 4th, be aware of the firecrackers and cherry bombs and all that stuff, especially those who got pets. Actually, a lot of pet owners take their pets to veterinarians around the earlier days of July against firecrackers, so that dogs don't have to get no medications and stuff like that. So actually, around July the 3rd, the 4th, I kind of just take it easy. I just do.
Me
And I'll
too,
just
yeah.
stay at home and listen to all the noise. I don't try to go out to fireworks, but that's me. I'm an at home person anyway, so that's me. And so I'll see something maybe on a screen or something like that. But they have beautiful fireworks, though. They've got some companies or organizations that, especially those that make drones, and they have them in all designs. I mean, it's really, really magnificent to see.
Because
So
there's
those
some
are,
people that are really, really into that.
yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And it's an art, and it pays well. And creatively, it's just showing the imagination. But all of these designs that these when they send these drones in the skies, all predicated by mathematics, which is why I love math. And yet I was the worst math student in school. So as somebody says, Lloyd Strayhorn, you're going to make your living doing numbers. I says, somebody told you wrong. Okay.
That was
Yet I
me.
do. Yet I do. And I
That was
want to
me.
say for those that have signed on to take the certification course this month, you are in for a wonderful experience. I guarantee you. I
Oh,
love
can you
it.
please speak on that for a second?
Yes. I am starting on the 16th of this month a certification course teaching people how to be a professional numerologist. First of all, you will never go out of business. As long as human beings walk this planet Earth, you're going to always find business to do. Okay. And the reason why is some of you will do it as a second passion, some of you will do it as a backup. You know how sometimes we think a job is secured, then the next thing you know, you're terminated. And if you don't have a backup skill set, it could be devastating. But at least this way, and I'll show you how to do this as a living. Now, I'm going to teach you the basics. I know some of you say, well, I know numerology. I heard that before. There's nothing like taking a review. And I have a way of being very unique to kind of sound old, but bring you up to date 21st century. I've been doing this a long time. I'll give you the backstory for those that sign up. All you got to do is go to a star 8 LLC at Gmail. That's ASTAR 8 LLC at gmail.com. By the way, download my app. My app is called a star 8 ASTAR. Go to your Google, go to your Android, ASTAR with the 8 attached. So think of a star in the heavens with an 8 attached to it. But for those who want to sign up, it's closed now. So it's under the wire. Just go to a star 8 LLC at gmail.com. Leave your interest. Someone will send you an inquiry form to see how serious you are. You got to be serious with this. This is no joke, because I plan to teach you how to survive if push come to shove and all of a sudden your so-called secure job is not secure anymore. Well, I want to give you something that will last you all your entire life, as it has saved me. For those of you who join, I will give you the backstory of what I'm saying is true. And I have all the receipts to prove it. Thank you.
Thank you for letting us know. And thank you for our forecast for July. We're going to pay attention and see how things work out. Let us know in the comment section how your June was. Let us know if it's accurate with the forecast your last month, and whether you are using your sun sign, your ascendant, or your moon.
And I have a show every Monday and Wednesday. Mine is in the evening, Thursdays in the morning, so we don't bump heads. Everything works out great.
We stay out of each other's way.
You best believe it. That's why we're good friends, okay? I look forward to seeing you all in August. But in the meantime, have a wonderful and safe July 4th holiday. And all of you, take care of yourselves.
Bye.
Bye-bye.